can turn the weight for Texas. The eyes of Texas are upon a massive weekend. Worldwide attention on Formula One. Intense focus on this SEC showdown. The Horns are up and face some dogs with a hint of desperation. Georgia's already found a road hazard, and more tests abound across the country, from Knoxville to Louisville to Bloomington. But pole position is decided right here on the 40 acres, the Lone Star State, where Texas is back. But those hairy dogs are going to hunker down, and they ain't going anywhere. And the dogs come rolling in tonight. Uh-oh, Carson Beck's jersey in front of the cannon. Those smoky. I just want to issue a little warning. We were here a few years ago. They did that to Joe Burrow's jersey. That did not work out well that night for Texas. Glad to have you with us. Oh, but that jersey's not going to be used tonight.
No, sir.
What a morning on the 40 acres South Mall, just in front of that iconic tower. Rece Davis, Kirk Herbstreit, Desmond Howard, Pat McAfee, Nick Saban, and after 2 weeks, the return of the great Lee Corso.
Thank you.
Oh, what do we got already? Early lead already.
Remember, that's his preseason pick for the national championship, the Texas
really?
Longhorns.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. They're welcoming you back, LC. Hear him?
Yeah.
There it is, chanting his name.
Coach, these people love you, and that's for good reason. You're an absolute legend. This college football season has lived up to the hype and then some. Third top 5 matchup, and it's about 8:05 a.m. here in Austin, and OU. Okay, and the fact that, G1's here racing tomorrow, this matchup's here tonight, you can really say that the eyes of Texas are upon you, all live on day. The eyes of Texas are upon you. And I'll tell you, I was down at the Dirty Six last night, saw a comedy show at the Mothership, and this city's alive. College football is amazing, and it's an honor to be here, Rece Davis.
What a game it's going to be. You said the third top 5 matchup, but the lower-ranked team has won the first 2.
Texas #1.
But it's been good. It's been good for home teams too, and this is a great matchup.
Yeah, and it's been great games. I mean, these games have lived up to the billing. Let's hope this one does tonight. Georgia and Texas. Look out, Bebo. Look out. Bebo and Uga. Who can ever forget that? Let's protect Uga tonight. Don't let him get near Big Bebo. Quinn Ewers. Boy, this guy has got to have a big night tonight. Ryan Wingo is the guy he'll be looking for. This Georgia defense. How well will they play against all the movement that Sark creates? The Dogs defense, if they're going to win, has got to prevent the big play. And this defense right here, guys, they're playing as well as anybody. Now, the test will be much different tonight. We know that this offense with Carson Beck can attack downfield. Carson Beck has coming off his best game of his career against Mississippi State. Will Georgia try to run the ball more, take some of the pressure off of Carson Beck? And that passing game, I think, will be a big key tonight for the Dogs.
You know, you have these games, and the 2 top 5 games so far have been decided by a grand total of 8 points. We're going to spend some time talking about the new 12-team playoff, how it looks, what's at stake going forward. When you look at the big picture, what are the consequences at stake tonight in Texas and Georgia?
Well, I think, first of all, Texas sort of controls their own destiny here. You know, they're undefeated. Even if they lost this game, they would actually still have a chance to win the SEC, still get in the playoffs. I think Georgia's consequences, even though a little more severe when it comes to the SEC, because they probably won't get in the championship game, but I still think a 10-2 Georgia team gets in the playoffs. And everybody should really remember, especially Dog fans, that Alabama won the national championship without winning the SEC, and so did Georgia win the national championship without winning the SEC. But Texas really controls their own destiny as of right now.
I tell you what, Coach, the one thing I'm looking at in this game for Georgia is if they lose, will they get into the championship game? Playoff or not? That's not even my concern. If they lose this game, I think what goes away is that mystique of invincibility, dominance. You only have one team of all the top teams, Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia, LSU. You only have one team in this conference whose record is unblemished.
Who's that?
It's the Texas Longhorns. They might be the new king of the hill in the SEC.
Yeah, I think what you just said there is a big deal. The SEC and the Big Ten this year are showcasing their dominance week in and week out. These SEC battles, Georgia had Alabama just a few weeks ago. It was 2 versus 3. Now it's 1 versus 5. And you're talking about a 2-loss team making it into the first ever 12-team playoff. I'm thinking there's a chance with how things are going to shape up. Georgia still has Ole Miss, and Tennessee. So there's a lot of big games left for this Georgia Bulldogs team. Texas still has a meat of a schedule coming up. There's a chance a 3-loss team, I think, from the SEC makes it into the 12-team playoff. And people are going to hate that, but that's how football is played in the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah, the challenge is week in and week out. I'm going to put the playoff discussion to the side and just talk about going back 2 years ago, 3 years ago. All the talk was Texas and Oklahoma. Are they ready for the deep end of the pool? Are they ready for the SEC? Sark had 4 years to build his program, get the offensive line, get the defensive line, recruit. Everything's looked great, but let's be honest. Today is their first real test into this new conference in the SEC against one of the Goliaths, Georgia. This is where we find out about Texas when it comes to facing the Alabamas, the Georgias. They get them at home, which is a huge advantage for Sark.
My opinion of the University of Texas can be summed up with this quote.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
They are, quote, they are good in the right places. Quarterback, offensive line, explosive playmakers, really good defense, and they got a really complete team. Quote, unquote. Oklahoma coach Brent Venables said, after that, he was beaten by Texas 34-3.
Sums it up.
Enough said. I said it all right there.
We don't even need to play the game.
Now we all know.
But, Sark built this Texas team as an SEC team. That's why they are. Oklahoma's not built that way, but Texas is, and that's why they can compete in this league.
Right. Rece, you're no stranger to big games. This atmosphere, SEC showdown against Georgia, the opportunity to really stake your claim as the top team in the conference. What's this mean for Texas and the growth?
First of all, how about this crowd? How about this environment, man? Hook 'em, baby. This is awesome. This is great. Anytime you guys show up, it's a pretty big deal. You know how much of a fan I am of what you guys do for college football. So I think we're in the right air. We're supposed to be where we're supposed to be. It's going to be a heck of a ball game tonight.
Hey, Sark, I tell you what, you've done a heck of a job here building this program like an SEC team. Physical up front, really good defense, quarterbacks playing well, so you're doing a great job here. And I appreciate the fact that your team is number one.
Well, I appreciate you, Coach. You mean a ton to me, so appreciate you. Hey, before we get into this, I got something for you, Kirk. And it's really for Ben, man. We're just trying to recruit as many good players as we can. So I know he's probably a Buckeye, but we got to make him a Longhorn, man.
I appreciate that, man.
The only dog that's allowed on campus this weekend.
Yeah.
Ben.
No doubt. No doubt.
Pete Thamel just reporting that Ben is decommitted from Ohio State.
He was committed to Oregon last week. Now he's committed to Texas. So let's look at a few plays here, Sark, and kind of have some fun talking about these games, these teams from last week's game.
So, one thing that we do a lot of is getting in these kind of condensed splits, or as Coach Saban calls them, squeeze splits. And we use it for the run game and the pass game. We try to gain leverage. So if you see right here at the bottom, we use this receiver to block kind of the trap corners, which a lot of people will try to do to us. We're a big wide zone team, and that allows us to get to the C gap right there and get to the open field.
What a game he had.
Yeah, awesome game by Silas Bolin. Awesome game by Trey Wisner right here as well. But we get in these splits for the run game and the pass game.
Can I just show one thing? I showed this during the broadcast. watch this right here. Des, you'll appreciate this. Good block.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Good block. Good block. Keep watching him.
Oh, wow.
Keep watching him. Keep watching him.
All in.
Keep
He's
watching
behind
him.
the play.
Keep watching him.
Yeah.
He started off behind the play.
Behind
Yes.
the
All
play.
in.
Love
Yes.
that.
All in.
That's great.
How much
culture play,
hype
man.
did he get in the film room
Oh,
for that?
huge. Standing
He goes,
ovation
yeah,
from the
that's
team, you
That's
know?
awesome. All right, here we go.
But now we're in those same condensed splits, and now we're working an RPO off that same zone action here on the front side.
Like a no
And we're
look
reading
here.
it on the back side, yep, and now we're getting that completion for the touchdown.
Look at it. Look at this guy bailing, reading the eyes of the quarterback. He's looking out there, and then he throws inside.
Yeah.
Matty
Yeah.
Stafford stuff.
So a lot of variations to that condensed split look.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the same thing here, we end up in the same condensed split, and this is against
Doggone it.
Coach.
This is Alabama
This
last
is
year.
Coach from a year ago now. So it's
to us,
run
Coach.
game and pass game. Coach, you want to talk it through a little bit too as well? I mean, they probably want to hear from you more than me.
What happened here,
This
Coach?
is all about how can we get coached. This is what this is. You put the star into the boundary. You get Malachi over
Formation
here.
into the boundary.
You put this guy in motion. Now you got your best receiver right here. All right, we're going to play 2 over 2 on both sides. All right, but we double this guy, and now you get your best receiver on our safety for a big play touchdown.
Coach, I'm losing.
Yeah, you are.
Show Pat.
Yeah,
McConaughey.
Coach,
where are you
right
at?
Yeah, you're right there, man.
Look at McConaughey going
Yeah.
bananas
Yes.
down there. What a play. Electrifying. Coach, you got to cover that guy.
Yeah, but the thing
That
about it
guy's
is when
playing
you're
for
in these
Kansas City
squeeze
now.
splits, it's hard to run the star across the formation. So by motion, he gets the matchup that he wants. Best receiver
Coach,
on our safety, and it's a touchdown.
This is big for Georgia. All the pre-snap movement. See it in the NFL, see it with you. Can you explain what that does for you? And I would love for you to respond to what Kirby's facing and how he deals with all that movement before the snap.
Yeah, I think what we do pre-snap is almost as important as what we do post-snap, right? We shift a lot, we motion a lot, we double motion, we boomerang motion or return motion. We try to do a lot of that, A, to create some indecision in the defense. 2, we're trying to find leverage for our receivers and in the run game. And 3, it's a way for us to kind of hide some of our plays. We're not a big run a bunch of new plays every week. We're a big run our plays that we run out of new looks, new formations, new personnel.
Make the defense, what's that do to the defense, all that?
Well, to me, it offers a lot of tells for the quarterback. Pre-snap, we send a guy in motion. Are they playing man-to-man? Are they playing zone? So, I think that really helps the quarterback a lot, take advantage of whatever the defense is playing.
Speaking of the quarterback, Coach, your quarterback seemingly dog immediately upon arriving here.
Yeah.
Everything that happened with Arch Manning middle of the season was great reps and I think great plays for Arch Manning to have down the road. Quinn Ewers, having that play obviously last week with Alabama, how do you expect him to play here against the Georgia Bulldogs?
One thing I've learned about Quinn in our 3 years together, he shows up in these types of games, and I think that's a byproduct of his preparation. We've gotten this guy now into year 3 where he kind of thinks like me, and we had our meeting last night. We go through that call sheet of the things he likes, the things I like, and when they start to be synchronized that way, I feel pretty good about it.
I'm glad that Kirk showed that play when the receiver's on the edge blocking. He's behind the play, but he hustles his butt off there, picks up the fumble in the end zone for a touchdown. Another player who's, like, to me, an unsung hero is your tight end, Gunnar Helm. Tell us what he means to the offense.
Well, Gunner's had a tremendous year for us, and the thing that we're loving about Gunner is he's a 3-down player. He's see area blocking, which is so critical in our style of play.
Yeah.
But he's been an explosive weapon in the pass game as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, the guy's hurdling people. I'm like, we get behind our pads and not try to jump over people all the time. But I'm really proud of him. He's year 4 in our program. He's developed every year. And he's reaping the benefits of it now.
I love his game.
Yeah, he's sweet.
For real.
Having practiced against Sark for a couple of years and have to play against him for a couple of years,
Yep.
he does more to make the defense adjust and make the defensive players think with formations and motions than anybody we ever played against.
How about this guy on TV, huh?
Unbelievable. I've never seen him smile so much in my life, man. I mean, this is unbelievable. You guys, I don't know what you guys do, but I've never seen him smile so much.
These guys text me and say, "Who is this guy?"
He doesn't have to deal with all your shifts and motions
He was in
anymore.
that cashmere jacket the last
Yeah, walking on that field. Coach, last question for me. 105,000 people going to be in there. What are you expecting from these?
Glorious people. Oh, man. It's going to be rocking. I've heard Knoxville, Tennessee, Neyland Stadium has the record in college football for the loudest decibel level. All right? So we're going to try to break that record tonight, baby. Let's go, man. Let's go.